So welcome to Castle Durrow. This is a terribly snowy, wet and windy day, but we are here to test what Skoda claim can do 500 kilometers on a single charge, and it's called the ASUVe. Terrible name, but there's an actual real name of this coming as well. At that moment of recording, I didn't really know it was going to be called the Enyaq. Now, I had been told it might be called the Enya, which is another thing entirely. The name combines the letter E for electric mobility with the characteristic Q of the Skoda SUV family. Enyaq is derived from the Irish name of Enya, yes, that singer. It also means, in Irish, source of life. First Skoda model to be based on the modular electrification toolkit, that's the MEB chassis. So looking around, if you come with me for a second, Paddy, looking around the car, it's totally camouflaged. We're not going to see a whole lot about this car. It's got a covered in grille. It may or may not have some lights behind it as well. It's going to fit in between the Kodiaq and the Karoq. So it fits between the two of those, but it's fully BEV. We're going to have 3 batteries that are going to be under the floor of this car. The first one, I have to refer to my notes here, is going to be a 55 kilowatt battery. They're calling it the 50, which will give you the range of about 347 kilometers. See, it's not a small car. Second one is 62 kilowatt, much more traditional range, 391, and then an 82 kilowatt battery, which will give you 500 kilometers WLTP distance they're talking about there. So it'll have 2 drive systems, 3 battery sizes, and 5 power variants. The entry level will be a rear wheel drive, which sounds kind of exciting to me, to be honest with you. The more powerful versions will have a second electric motor at the front to transmit torque into the road more efficiently. In its most powerful variant, the Enyaq will tow up to 1200 kgs if required. A total of 5 different power variants and 3 battery sizes provide the fun yet sustainable driving. Depending on what version you pick, you will be able to have a rear wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive. So this car shares parts with the MEB platform from Volkswagen, so they're going to take the engine and the batteries and the chassis system from Volkswagen, and then Skoda are going to do their Skoda-ness over the whole car and turn out what they think is the best car. We're actually going to see it tonight. They're going to unveil one first, but I can't show you that. This video probably won't go out until well into March, so we're well behind. So by the time you see it, you may have actually seen a reveal of it. Yes, this was actually filmed long before the word pandemic ever existed in my lexicon. The Enyaq will be charged in 3 different ways. In addition to the conventional 230 volt household plug socket with an AC output of 2.3 kilowatts, the vehicle can also be conveniently topped up overnight at home using a wall box, delivering up to 11 kilowatts. This takes 6 to 8 hours depending on the size of the battery. DC fast charging with a charging output of 125 kilowatts is the third option. These can recharge the Enyaq battery from 10% to 80% in a claimed 40 minutes. Believe it or not, there will also be an RS model which will be out late 2021. That will be the equivalent of 305 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, 6.2 seconds 0 to 60. I've driven the car today. It is very numb. I'd expect that. This is pre-production. As you can see, it's totally camouflaged up. Skoda say that they've brought about 250,000 euros worth of investment to the locality with this launch that they have on here, which makes this car being brought to Ireland for all of these journalists to drive, including us, and we're the first ones to have it go on it. It means the total investment in this area is absolutely gigantic, which is brilliant for Ireland, and I'd love to see a full actual launch happen here in this country. But right now we'll do with this reveal. If you come around the back here a little bit, I can't show you the inside. You're not allowed to look inside the car, so Paddy's not going to film any of that part, but you can see it's actually a sloping SUV line roof line to it, and it comes down to quite a blunt end. It's going to be 5 seats only. There won't be a 7-seat version of it. It's not going to have a different length version of the car. It'll all be the same size. So what you see now is what you're going to get in the near future. The camouflage obviously will come off and it will look slightly different. All these lights are all camoed in, so you can't really see the shape of them just yet. But you can see it's quite a handsome car. It's got a very sloped line on the outside of it and very sloped on the inside as well, but actually would seat 5 people pretty handy. We're driving around it today. The acceleration is very predictable. The car is very predictable on the road as well, no matter where it goes. Rear wheel drive gives you a brilliant balance in the background. The 4-wheel drive system we haven't tested. There's not one here yet. It's in development. So hopefully Skoda now are about to blow everything out of the water when it comes to this car, because this is a proper game changer for the company. This is not just your average single car. There's a couple more than come driving in here. This is not just your average electric car. Skoda have been developing this since 2015. I told you ages ago that car companies are really quiet about developing that they're doing. So 2015 I started this, 2016 they got the MEB platform, and since then it's been all about this car. The name of it, you're going to hear an awful lot about it. It's going to be run very similar to the ID3 system. They're going to put it into home chargers for you. They're going to put it in through PCP, and they're going to do all kinds of stuff to make this a very simple buy for you. Once the Enyaq gets introduced, it'll join the Citigo, which is electric, the Superb PHEV. There will be an electric version of that eventually as well. It'll be part of the brand's strategy with more than 10 electrified models that'll be launched between 2019 and the end of 2022. Now those dates might change around a bit because of this pandemic time, but we'll get somewhere in that time. It's been 125 years since the company was founded, and it's the first time that Skoda has entered the era of e-mobility. That's what they're calling their electrified offering. It's part of the largest investment program in the company's history to date. Skoda Auto will have fed a total of 2 billion euros into the development of electrified models and the creation of a comprehensive ecosystem with the new mobility solutions for 2021. For the development from a traditional car manufacturer into, as they usually say, the simply clever company for the best mobility solutions, sustainability plays an important role in production, sales as well as service. It remains to be seen as to whether Skoda is going to be able to really trouble people like Tesla and anyone else who got a head start on them. But you know what? The force of the Germans and the force of the Czech Republic and Skoda is all together on this one, and I suspect this is going to be a proper game changer in the electric car fleet of tomorrow. Now, hopefully you've learned enough about this car that you're interested in it. We're going to be going to the international launch of this car, and we'll probably get a first drive of it there too. But until then, I'm afraid you just have to subscribe for more. So hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to have a little spin in this pre-production model. So if you see it around Duro, if you've seen it a few months ago, tweet me a picture of it if you've seen it passing by, because I was in it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, I will see you on the far side. So I thought I'd do a little piece to add on at the end as to what I think Skoda and that group are going to do in the near future. There's such an amount of stuff going on at the moment. Of course, this pandemic has really shut down the entire world in manufacturing. But besides the manufacturing end of it, if things were going according to plan, this car would be launched in 2021. We'd be looking at the international reveal of it maybe let's say September, October this year, with a kind of cut-off point of having the actual first drives of it next year at some stage. It seemed fairly well sorted when I drove it. We only really had rear-wheel drive ones here, not four-wheel drive, so we didn't have the highest power version of it. That's still in development. But it seems like, because it's part of the Volkswagen Group, because car companies are quite secret when they're talking about things, it meant that Volkswagen Group has managed to get themselves together in such a way that they can really dominate in this segment. Now, it's going to cost a lot of money, but it means the ID3 is here. ID4 has been mentioned already. We've seen a look at a couple of other things. We've seen some electrification of other parts of that market. Now Skoda getting involved with their Enyaq. Already got Citigo, not on sale in Ireland, by the way. Don't get excited, it's too expensive. But we've got the Skoda Superb PHEV, which is here now. You know, they've got this electrification thing happening. If battery supply gets good for them, if they start to really get that price ramped downwards rather than upwards, or try and get it into something that's pretty good, we'll see this hit the market very quickly, and people will take it up, because A lot of people that trust these long-term car brands and wouldn't be so faithful for someone like Tesla, who's brand new. Nothing against Tesla. Tesla really have things nailed when it comes to the infrastructure part of it, how you buy the car, how you charge the car, going out and about, ranges, efficiencies. They've really got that nailed, and that's something I think the German car company is going to have to play catch up. But I honestly would be surprised if Skoda and the Volkswagen Group don't catch up and very quickly overtake the abilities of Tesla. They will be watching everything that Tesla's done. They're just going to copy it all and do it all down to the last. So hopefully it works out for them, and hopefully we get better choice in the market. That's really all I'm after. I'm not really against Tesla or for anyone. I just want more choice in the market for the consumer, because right now, such a narrow little field of electric cars you can have, and this really does open up that market a bit more. Thank you very much for watching this little bit at the end. I hope you've learned something while you're here, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side.